Welcome to the Deep Dive, the place where we examine the sources and pull out the essential insights you need to get genuinely informed. Today, our mission is to tackle a really fundamental business problem. How do you figure out who your ideal customer profile is without just, guessing?
Exactly. And the source we're looking at today offers a fantastic way to do that.
It does. We're working with the 18th issue of the biweekly work journal, Thinking in Public, created by Alperin. And it details this really practical workflow.
It's a workflow that gets you away from what so many companies do, which is basically building their target audience on assumptions.
Right. The classic, let's all sit in a room and brainstorm who we think our customer is.
Or worse, the Hapio effect, the highest paid person's opinion.
I've definitely seen that happen.
And the result is usually this persona document that's filled with ideas that have never really been tested against reality. This whole workflow is designed to just kill those assumptions with data.
So that's the core idea. Instead of just imagining your audience, you look at real people who are already engaging with a major competitor in your space. You pull their data and you turn it into facts.
Yep.
And the guide uses a perfect example to walk us through this. It analyzes the LinkedIn audience of Firefly's AI.
Right, which is a big name in the AI for meeting space. So if you're a hypothetical company, say Granola AI, they're your direct competitor.
Okay, so that brings us to the first step, data collection. Where do you even start?
So first, you have to identify your strongest competitor, the one who's really driving the conversation. Then you need a tool to actually get the raw data.
And the source recommends a very specific one.
It does. A scraper from a platform called Apify. It's called the LinkedIn Company Posts Scraper No Cookies.
For anyone not familiar, Apify is basically a platform for web scraping, for pulling data from websites. But why this specific tool? What makes it so special?
It's because it does all the heavy lifting for you. It scans your competitors' recent posts, and, this is the crucial part, it collects the profiles of every single person who reacted or commented.
So you're not getting hypotheticals, you're getting actual people.
Actual people, their job titles, their industries, their seniority, all from people who've shown real intent in just the last few weeks. That is the foundation of the whole thing.
Okay, and I know the workflow gets pretty technical with the inputs for the scraper. I don't think anyone wants to hear us read a JSON file aloud.
No, definitely not.
But let's talk about the why behind the settings. They seem very specific.
They are, and it's all about focus. The template in the source tells you to set limits, like max post to 30 and max reactions to 50.
So you're not boiling the ocean.
Exactly. And you limit the time frame. Posted limit, 3 months. You're only looking at recent, relevant activity. And the best part is, you basically just copy and paste it.
And just change one thing, right?
It's just one thing. You swap out the placeholder URL for your competitor's actual LinkedIn company page. That's it.
So you run the actor, and you get this, I assume, massive and pretty messy JSON file full of raw data. How do you turn that chaos into actual business intelligence?
That's where we make the jump from just data collection to AI-driven analysis. You take that JSON file and you upload it straight to a large language model. Could be Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, any of them.
Along with a custom prompt, I assume.
A very detailed custom prompt. And the first thing you ask the AI to do is the most important. Clean the data.
Clean it out.
You give it incredibly strict rules to filter out the noise. You have to make sure you're only looking at comments and reactions from real people, not company pages, not bots.
That sounds like the biggest bottleneck in the whole process, just making sure you're not counting a company page as a potential customer.
It is the biggest bottleneck, and that's why the prompt has to be so precise. You tell the AI, for example, a real person's profile will have their URL contain in, or their ID might start with ACOA. Whereas a company page will have company in the URL. So the AI has to go through and throw out anything that isn't a confirmed human being.
It's like a super fast data detective. So once it has that clean list of unique people, what's next? It's still just a list of names and profiles.
Right. So the next task is the heavy lifting. First, it deduplicates the list. So if one person like 3 posts, they only get counted once.
Makes sense.
But the real magic is in what the source calls the inference step. The AI looks at someone's job title, their headline, and it has to infer 3 critical things from it.
Infer what exactly?
First, their role or function. Is this person in sales or product, or are they a founder? Second, their seniority. Are we talking about an individual contributor, a manager, a director, a VP?
And the third?
Their company type. Are they at a big SaaS company, a small AI startup,
Mm.
a consulting firm? This is what turns a long list of job titles into something you can actually analyze.
It creates the segments.
It creates the segments. And there's an important check here. The guide says if you end up with too few unique people, say less than 30, the AI has to tell you that the insights are only directional. You can't build a whole strategy on a tiny data set.
Right, of course. So now we have this clean, inferred data. The next big step is gripping it all into those useful segments. How does that work?
It's layered, which makes it really smart. The AI groups people by their role and seniority, but then it adds another classification.
Which is?
Is this person a likely buyer, the decision maker? Are they a heavy end user, the person in the trenches with the product every day? Or maybe they're just an influencer in the space.
And this is where we start getting into the why, not just the who.
Precisely. For the people who actually left comments, the AI now has to analyze the text of what they wrote. It starts to cluster the themes, the motivations, the emotions.
Can you give me an example of the kind of themes it's looking for?
Sure, it might be looking for comments about product value. Things like, this would save me so much time. Or it might find themes around pain points. I'm drowning in meetings. Or I hate taking notes.
So it's pulling out their actual problems.
Their problems, their desires. It also looks for more strategic topics, like are people really enthusiastic about AI, or are they a bit skeptical? Are they asking about integrations with other tools? All of that gets extracted and summarized.
So we've collected the data, cleaned it, segmented it, and analyzed the motivations. Now the source is really clear that the final output can't just be a data dump. It has to be actionable.
Immediately actionable. The guide demands a final report with 5 specific parts, designed for a marketing or sales team to just pick up and run with.
Okay, let's walk through them. What's part one?
Part 1 is a high-level summary, just 3 to 7 bullet points. A quick snapshot of the dominant roles, seniority levels, and whether the audience leans more towards buyers or users.
Simple enough. What's next?
Part 2 is the core of it, the segment breakdown table. It's a table that lists each segment, VP of sales or product managers, their share of the total audience, and crucially, why they care about this kind of product based on those comment themes we just talked about.
That sounds incredibly useful.
Then part 3 is the ICP hypotheses. Based on everything it's seen, the AI proposes who your ideal customer might be, what company sizes to look at, which industries seem most promising.
And part 4.
That's the detailed buyer-side insight. It summarizes the main pains you should be talking about, the outcomes people are looking for, and even potential buying triggers.
And the last piece.
Actionable next steps. This is where it all comes together. The AI gives you 5 to 10 practical recommendations for your go-to-market strategy.
Things like messaging angles and content ideas.
Exactly. Which segments to prioritize, what messaging will resonate with them, content themes that address their specific pains, maybe even some surprising niche clusters you hadn't thought of.
So what you end up with is this really clear, data-backed view of who is actually active in your market right now.
That's it. You're replacing these old subjective beliefs with undeniable facts about who's engaging, what roles they have, and the exact language they use to talk about their needs.
And that's really the core value here, isn't it? I mean, no method is going to be 100% perfect, but this feels so much more practical and grounded in reality than just, filling out a persona template based on what you think you know.
It's night and day. It's fast, it's targeted, and it's based on what people are actually doing.
So as we wrap up, what's a final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the most provocative idea here is that this isn't a one-and-done task. The data you get is a snapshot. It's only good for this moment in time.
Meaning it gets stale.
It starts getting stale the moment you download it. The real power of this method comes when you treat it as a continuous process. You can run this for multiple competitors. You can combine it with your own user data. You can build this incredibly robust model of your market, but you have to keep refreshing it. It's not a document that gathers dust. It's a living part of your strategy.
A perfect way to turn real-world activity into strategy that actually works. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.